Well, good Thursday night, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's had a great Thirsty Thursday. We are literally 1 week from now, from this moment now, the first round of the NFL draft will be winding down. And I have to say, I'm kind of sad. I'm sad that it's in Green Bay, Wisconsin, where I'm still trying to understand this. So I understand everybody wants to be able to spread the wealth around and things, but there's some places that just aren't suitable for everything. I will say the best place that I was ever at for a Super Bowl, and I've been to quite a different locations, has to be New Orleans. Because when you get to New Orleans, once you're downtown, the hotels are there, the casinos there, the convention center's there, the stadium's there, the bars, the restaurants. You get there and you don't have to have a car. You can do everything that's right there. When you think about when they had the Super Bowl in Santa Clara or San Francisco, they have all the NFL stuff set up in San Francisco, and Santa Clara is like 40 miles away. We stayed out at a hotel kind of in the middle at the airport, but it still was like forever away. And that's how it is, I'm sure that Green Bay will be a great experience, but Green Bay is just not big enough to host the event. There's not enough hotel space. And having gone to the draft at Radio City Music Hall, to Chicago, where I met Jay Tuck a long time ago, to Philadelphia, to Dallas, to Kansas City, to Detroit, I'm not sure Green Bay at this time of year, it's 49 degrees here, 49 degrees here in VA. What do you think it's going to be like in Green Bay next week at night? It got kind of chilly in Detroit last year. And mind you, that's not even the biggest problem. Hotel space, there's not enough. When you have a couple 100,000 people come to town for the draft, and you only have hotel space for like 50,000, that's a problem. So when we were looking at it, it was literally $1,000 a night for the days in. So this year, game time, prime time, DMV, David Wiley, and me and crew, we ain't gonna be there. It's just too expensive. Next year, we'll see how it's gonna be in Pittsburgh, but this year, definitely not. Yesterday was a very, very emotional day. And I hope that Jerry and Stephen Jones really take note. Because within a couple of weeks, you've had two cornerstone pieces in Zach Martin and Tyron Smith retire without a Super Bowl ring. And when you start thinking about some of the players that were here, it's a travesty when you see Tony Romo and Des Bryant, Travis Frederick, Zach Martin, Tyron Smith, Sean Lee. D-Ware was fortunate enough to go get one elsewhere. Seeing those guys that were truly Dallas Cowboys players leave the game without having a ring. My hope is that for Jerry and Stephen Jones is a reminder of the failures that they have made and trying to right that wrong. That would be the hope. That it would wake them up to understand that, yeah, you got the most valuable franchise and, the greatest stadium. Although that $3.5 billion that they're going to put in the FedEx Field or the new, not FedEx, Washington Stadium might give a run for the money. And I'll say that Rams Stadium was pretty nice, and that Atlanta Stadium with that iris camera, those are kind of cool. You're seeing the evolution of the television that maybe that jumbotron that the Cowboys have. I'm just saying. And I'll say the paving stones out there, they're getting a little kind of, there is some work that needs to be done outside AT&T. It is beginning to show some age, Jerry. I'm just pointing that out, that you can't be the greatest forever. But that the Cowboys realize opportunities are few and far between. In the last 30 years, you've been fortunate enough to have two good enough quarterbacks to win it, with teams to go with. And that you wake up before we're doing this whole thing again, saying goodbye to guys like Tyler Smith and Micah Parsons and Dak Prescott, and saying, we failed those guys. Now, when I look at the list, when you go down through the list, and I don't have it all in my head right now, but I'll talk about it tomorrow morning. When you go down the list of all the things that the Dallas Cowboys have done, they have been aggressive. Now, you may argue with some of the players and say they haven't gotten the primo players and things. Well, by comparison to last year, we have plugged so many more holes. We went into last year, unfortunately, with needing some more help at wide receiver, offensive line, defensive line, edge rusher, cornerback, and linebacker. And some of those same areas we still need help in. But at least we have people that can plug these holes. And with the latest two offensive line signings, I think that's pointing the direction of we're not drafting any offensive linemen. We're going to try and plug in the other spots here. And even with what they're doing now, they're still going to have to dig a little bit deeper into free agency or some trades to bring some more players in here. But in the same way I always tell you to tell the people you love how much you love them, because you might not get the chance again, that's true as far as the Dallas Cowboys go. That they need to take advantage of having some of the players that they have and do something more with it. I so want to see this team win. I'm so tired of year after year going through the same cycle. The Cowboys lose. They're the worst organization in football. They don't care about winning because they don't do anything free agency. Their draft grades, they didn't do any impact players, that they stink, they're lousy, and then come into training camp, well, their Super Bowl aspirations, they're a Super Bowl contender because they've hyped us up to be after they've literally trashed us. And it's the same cycle over and over and over again. I just need to break the cycle. I just do. I feel like things are different, and I hope we get a different result. And that's all I have to say about that. So, tomorrow will bring us one more day closer to the draft. And I'm ready to get this thing on. Remember, good people, remember to tell the people you love how much you love them. 30 years goes by really fast. Really fast. I love you guys, and God willing, I'll see you in the morning. Peace out.